So here's my FutureBit Apollo 2 Bitcoin miner. It allows me to mine Bitcoin, solo mine Bitcoin, or I can connect multiple devices over the network to this miner and have them all hashed through my own Bitcoin node. It runs with an Orange Pi 4, which you can see right here, micro SD, and then the node or Bitcoin blockchain is stored on an NVMe storage device. This one I upgraded to 2 terabytes, but up here is the new guy. This is the Apollo 3. Now note, I paid for this out of my own funds, and it is a full node, but it has no SSD. Let's get this guy taken out of the box and show you the difference. They should look very similar. Oh, and by the way, here's the Apollo 1. Tore down, but that's the Apollo 1 and the heatsink it used to use with a bunch of chips on it. So we went from this design, desktop, to this design, which looks very similar to the Apollo 2. Height-wise, dimension-wise, the whole 9 yards, but the top is different. Where we had only vent slits on the sides here, now this entire section is open. You can see the copper heat pipes there. At the bottom, same thing, where we got to include or move over our NVMe drive. We're going to have to do the same thing here and install it on this guy, but look at the I/O. They clearly upgraded and made what appears to be their own custom board, and we have 2 slots for NVMe. Oh, that's awesome. Screws already in there. Don't know if there's one particular slot that's primary and the other one secondary, but we're just going to go with this one right here. Move that NVMe over, but look at that. And this thing can run Doom 3 on it. Type C, finally. So we went from Type A only. On the sides, we have HDMI and headset or 3.5mm jack, Ethernet, 3 Type A's. We now have 4 Type A's, Ethernet, and I'm not sure if it's 2.5 or 1 gig. 2 HDMI, so it can run 2 monitors, and then Type C, completely separate from power. Interesting. Heatsink looks a lot beefier too. If you look dimensional-wise, yeah, the heatsink's a lot bigger because this thing pushes out some hash rate. What's cool is this little design right here. Take a look at that. That is awesome. And there's even a card here that matches it. So inside the box, we've got our power cable, which I'm just going to use the one that's already there. And then we have that same card. That's awesome. Wonder what's in this little booklet, though. Okay, so this is a SAT card where we could deposit and get this set up. We saw this before by CoinKite, and with the code card situation, I'm sure other people are looking for other wallet options, so SAT card is one of them. And then we just have the FutureBit Get Started Guide, which should be very simple. Once this device connects to our network, we can find it, connect it, update the pool, our wallet address, the whole 9 yards. So air is going to flow out the exhaust or the backside here as it did in the original model and suck from the side vents, including this front section here. So they definitely, you know, the old one had vents all through the bottom, but no suction from the top, while the new one has air inlet from the top and a pretty decent one. I mean, this is blocked off, so that's unfortunate that this is blocked off, but it should get enough air from the side inlets as well. And by the way, the Ethernet port is 2.5 gig. Nice. So this would look really good on a desktop setup. So even though you have your main computer, you can have this set up and connected to additional monitors and, you know, use it just like, because it does have an OS that you can play around with and use it like a normal computing system, but it can or be your Bitcoin full node. Very easy to set up. Once you power it on, give it a minute, it will show up on the network. Connect to the IP. The default password is FutureBit123. Once we get logged in, we'll show you the actual UI setup. Should be very simple. Alright, SSD moved over. We're just going to power it on for the first time, see how loud this thing gets, and then go connect to it on the PC. This thing should get pretty loud. Alright, it's already done. Let's switch over to the PC now. The Apollo 3 is on 3 nanometer design. It's capable of up to 18 terahash, which is crazy. It's down to around 13 watts per terahash. It's got a bigger fan, as we saw, and bigger heatsink, and has a dynamic power range of 50 watts to 400 watts. More importantly, I want to look at the specs on this thing because it's got a pretty decent chip. So it has 2 options, right? Miner only, which we talked about. I called it the standard But the standard, you can see, has less I/O on the back than the full node. Drops the price down about $200, but both are on the HashCore 3 chip. I believe is what they're calling it, the Apollo OS 2.0, and the standard has a quad-core ARM A53, while the full node has 8 ARM A76 cores and 8 gigabytes of DDR5, and the standard only has 1 gigabyte of DDR4. 2 SSD bays, no SSD bays. So pick and choose wisely. Wi-Fi 6 on the full node, Wi-Fi 5 on the standard, and then of course more I/O compared to the standard. So choose wisely. But we found it on our network. We're going to click the start process. I'm going to choose solo mining for now, but you can use it in pool mining and connect it to whichever pool you want. Comes up with a little disclaimer here. And we just got to plug in our information. So our wallet address, the pool port, all that good stuff. So follow through the directions or the on-screen information. Give it a nice strong password. I know it's local only, but if you expose your network to anything, you don't want to, give it an easy password for people to crack once they are on your local network. Then it just comes up with setup complete, start mining. So we hit start up. We got to sign back into our device. It's starting to warm up. I like dark mode. I don't know about you, but in the top right here, you got dark mode, light mode. I like the blue. I wish it was like black, like a light gray or black, but it's all good. You can see here 3 different icons. This one is your node. This one is your miner. But the solo miner, if you're gonna do solo mining, you have to have your nodes up to date and synced. Mine is gonna take a minute to get up to there, and then it will start mining. So right now I'm just going to have it focus on getting the node up and running. If there are some issues, I'm probably going to have to format the SSD. It is just switched over from the Apollo 2, but we'll see. But the overview page will show you the hash rate, the temperatures, the watts, all that good stuff. We got additional graphs here that I didn't see on the previous version. We could see the temperature and we could see the hash rate, but we didn't have these 2 graphs that I'm pointing at right now. The miner, again, you can configure it. It's on eco mode. You can set a target hash rate. You can set a fan speed, all of that stuff in advanced settings. Everything we're familiar with. Solo pool, again, it's not going to show until the node is synced up, but here you'll be able to see that information, like pool level information, hash rate, power draw, just hash rate and shares and stuff. Node will show you your node status. We're going to give it a minute to show up. And then inside settings, when we go to miner, here's where we got super eco, balance, turbo, and a custom. If we choose custom, you can see here, we could set a target hash rate. So if we wanted 20 terahash, you see how it's in red? It goes from green, yellow, red. It's going to give us a warning if we try to set that. So we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it alone on where it's at. We got a fan override as well, where we could have the fan run full bore. Some people like quiet. Some people want hash rate at all costs. So choose which one matters to you. But pool, because we chose solo mining mode, that's exactly what it's doing. You can see the starting difficulty, the minimum difficulty. You can make some adjustments there. Also, in the node section, there are some parameters that you can put in here under the Bitcoin node configuration to make that adjusted to what you want. It is running Bitcoin Core 28.1, which is the one I'm running anyways on another device. But you can see that 31 is the latest. You don't always have to get the latest. You can turn on Tor mode. I talked about all these various features in other videos on FutureBit. I urge you to check them out on the Apollo 2 and the Apollo 1, how to update, how to fix, all that stuff. So definitely, if you like FutureBit devices or decentralized Bitcoin mining, check out the channel. Consider subscribing. But yeah, under system, we can scan for Wi-Fi. We can put the temperature in Celsius or Fahrenheit. We can change the lockout screen password. And then, of course, logs is just that, logs, right? We're seeing information about the miner, what's going on, what's the issue. The issue is right now, the node is not synced. So I'm waiting for that to happen. I love the fact that we can back up our configuration. I love the fact that we can restore our configuration. And again, if my node is having issues or my SSD is having issues, I'm just going to hit format. And it's going to take a longer time to load everything, but that's no problem for me. I'll just let it kick back and relax. It will take a hot minute to sync the entire Bitcoin node. It's getting up to closer to 1 terabyte now. So obviously, it's going to take some time. Under system, you can see basic information about the actual device itself. So the host name is FutureBit Apollo 3. That's what it showed up as in my network, or when I scanned my network. It is running Ubuntu, so you can run a full desktop environment with this thing. It's got plenty of memory available. It's got plenty of compute capability, or at least cores, right? Because we got a really sick processor on this thing. The ARM A76 is not a slouch whatsoever. So there's a lot of things that we can load and do, and I can even SSH into this device and run commands remotely or through PuTTY or through whatever, which is awesome. So right now we're just still waiting on our node to just get up to sync, and I'll bring you guys back once that's done. But this is just another tool that the end user can use in their arsenal of decentralized mining, whether it's the Nerd QX, which is sitting here right in front of me as I'm doing some projects and coding on it, the bit axes, the regular nerd axes, the hammer miners, all kinds of different decentralized miners that the at-home enthusiasts and even the smaller scale operations could take advantage of, and all point them to your FutureBit node. So now you're consolidating your hash rate on your entire local network to one node, trying to mine blocks and hit them. We've seen people hit blocks on public pools, not only the pool itself, but ones that they're running locally, like I showed you on this channel, Umbrel, right? And getting that all configured through the public pool software that's in Umbrel. I've seen people hit blocks through their own Bitcoin node that they're running Bitcoin Core on a local machine. There's a number of different ways you could do it. You just got to pick a flavor that suits you. But the design, the overall look is definitely a treat with the FutureBit Apollo 3. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts. Which one would you get? The miner only or the full node? You let me know. Let's see when this node actually gets synced up, what it looks like, and I'll show you that before I let you go. The node finally started picking up, and you can see here, I don't think I'm blocking anything important. Yeah, just the main buttons where you can hit the power button. You can stop the miner, start the miner, stop the node, stop the solo server, reboot the device, shut down, sign out, and when there's version updates, you'll see it pushed here. There'll be like a little red circle next to it. So that's basically it in the top right, just your status icons. So I'm not really blocking anything, but you can see the node is syncing up, and I'm quite a few blocks behind because the Apollo 2, even though I fixed it in a previous video, was having some issues and it wouldn't stay on or operational. The node wouldn't stay operational for an extended period of time. So I just shut it down and left it down. So I got over 100,000 nodes to sync. You can see where it is right now. I got 72% left. Blockchain size right now on the NVMe SSD is 639 gigabytes, but that's going to be closer to, I think, 700, maybe 800. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. And what's funny is you can actually see the network hash rate of Bitcoin when we were at that block height. For example, if we go to miningpoolstats.stream right now and go to Bitcoin, you're going to see that the Bitcoin network hash rate is at 951 exahash, almost one zettahash overall. Actually, that's probably what it says here. Yeah, so we're 1 zettahash, so 1,000 exahash. Unfortunately, my node is way behind, and I need to let it get it synced up. So yeah, it's saying that we were at 669, 670 exahash at this block height, the block that I'm currently on, but I still need to sync it up. And once I synced up, it will give me the current metrics of the Bitcoin network, hash rate, all that good stuff, difficulty. And you can see we can just connect to this node via this port right here. So again, if I go to my Nerd QX that you were just watching, and I point to this, but once the node is synced, it's going to restart a couple of times. Don't worry about it. Just let it run. Then we can hash away and solo mine to our own local Bitcoin node. Again, so many operations out there, or different ways you can do it, variances, but the clean aesthetics, the design, and I've always been a fond member of the FutureBit community, as you can see from all the different revisions that I've owned of their miners. I'm definitely interested in looking at pushing this thing and what I could push it to with the current setup without doing any optimization, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure the thermal paste that they use already on there is sufficient to reach the targets that they set. But when you start pushing things beyond their spec or limitations, you're going to run into issues. So anytime you're doing any overclocking, just know you're pushing your device beyond its limitations, and you should be responsible and understand you're responsible for the repercussions if the device should fail, fry, get hurt, or whatever. But remember, both my FutureBit 1 and 2 were unfortunately killed in action due to lightning strikes nearby the electrical surge. We covered that on the channel, but that has nothing to do with overclocking. But when it comes to overclocking on any device, you got to be responsible and understand to take onus of whatever happens. But that's going to do it for this video. Just quick look at the Apollo 3 versus the Apollo 2. The Apollo 1 wasn't put together, but you could see the different revisions and stages that the FutureBit team has gone through, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What are your thoughts of the FutureBit products, the Apollo 3, the pricing of these products, and do you enjoy them, their hash rate, their power draw, their efficiency compared to other alternatives? Sound off down in the comment section down below, and that's going to do it for today's video. So do me a favor on the way out. Hit that like button. Make sure to get subscribed and hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out additional links in the description. They'll support the channel and what we do here, and you have yourself a wonderful day. Take care. I'll catch you next one.